woman. Sighed. Don't even talk to me, you old bag. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to Collider TV Talk on a saucy Thursday. I'm your host, Josh Macuga, here for the last time at 11 a.m. PST, at least for the time being, starting next Tuesday. We're at 9 a.m. PST, 12 Eastern, and somebody in England told me that's 5 o'clock British summertime. Whoops-a-daisy. That's your computer not putting it on mute. Sorry about that, Adam. Cody, my bad. We have a super special surprise for you today. A Collider legend, really. A schmodown force to be reckoned with. And the scariest girl with the sweetest heart I've ever met, ladies and gentlemen, Clarke Wolfe.
Oh, boy. Thank you. What an intro. I kind of, Josh, can I just put you in my pocket and you can introduce me everywhere
your hype
that
man?
I go? Exactly.
Done.
My hype gnome.
Yeah.
Hype gnome.
You can call me.
gnome.
Give me a gnome name for a man.
We'll come up with
We
one.
have Nomi Camel,
we'll
Naomi
figure it out.
Watts, and Nomi Judd. But we don't have a
Rapace.
Nomi Rapace, yes.
Or a pause, as she really
God, I can't
pronounces
believe I
it.
didn't think of that.
The list goes on and on.
Yes.
But I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. And you guys have given me my new favorite show, which is The Sinner, which I cannot wait for us to all talk about.
Yes.
So thank you.
And starting with fall TV, we'll bring you on obviously more and more as we started doing the daily thing, kind of found our speed. And now we can start adding in, we were making chocolate chip cookies. Now we're going to make chocolate chip cookies, a little macadamia nut in there. Even though I'm allergic to it, we're going to put it in.
Maybe a little snickerdoodle in the future.
Oh. Maybe an ice cream sandwich. Who knows? Also here on a saucy Thursday, as always, the mother ginger of dragons, Grace Hancock.
Hey guys, hello. Saucy Thursdays are my personal favorite. All right, tweet me your Twitter questions at Mrs. Graceface, hashtag Collider TV Talk, hashtag Ginger Mother of Dragons.
Hashtag it up. Yeah, we're here. We got all kinds of crap. We're going to talk about crap. Mr. Robot, the Mr. Robot trailer, the new season 3. We all have very mixed feelings on the show. The CARA DELAVIGNE Amazon series, Sinner, Mr. Mercedes, and the first ever terrifying TV with Clarke Wolfe. We're going to talk about it all. What's first, Grace?
All right, so we have our first trailer for Mr. Robot season 3, which is going to drop on October 11th on, of course, USA. I thought season 1 was so solid. I completely, in all honesty, have not watched an episode of season 2 because I heard it was so, just awful.
It wasn't great.
And I didn't want to ruin season 1 for me, so I don't know. I mean, I got to catch up on season 2.
In season 2.
Lots of
Every
monologues.
episode started with what if I told you a man walked into a place and his heart was felt with certain mixed emotions? You're like, what the fuck is this idiot talking about? And then the whole show was just we're supposed to follow his inner monologue. And then is it his inner monologue? Is it Christian Slater? Or is it the blonde guy? Who is the Dark Army?
It was rather convoluted in season 2 for sure. I think they just sort of bit off a little bit more than they could chew. I think the reveal, and I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen season 1 of Mr. Robot, but there was a huge reveal that people were talking about. And I think the hype train on that was just so big that the creators and the people in the writers' room were like, all right, how do we top it?
Yes.
And in doing so, it just
the writer room?
The writer room, exactly. And also, I just want to say there was one character that I loved, and it was Angela, the character of Angela. I really thought that there was potential as his blonde bestie.
Loved her.
There was such potential for her to actually do cool things, and then ultimately they just wrote her into this really weird corner, and I just...
If there was any more long close-ups of Angela, just in a corner,
just looking there like stoned almost.
Yeah,
like this.
totally.
Awful. And she was kind of like Karen Page in Defenders and Daredevil and whatever. She was a really cool straight man, right? A really good example of a straight man telling everybody don't do this. In season 2, she's like, I'm gonna punch a guy in the face with a beer glass. You're like, why are you doing that? So, and then they try to give her this weird backstory. Regardless, I don't think season 3 looks any different from what I can tell. I think they're even getting more and more convoluted. It's we're just gonna add characters and they may be villains or they may be people dressed in bull masks. I don't know.
Yeah, there was not a ton of narrative in the trailer whatsoever. I was like, okay, so cool, flashies, red font, moody.
Rami Malek is so talented.
He's so talented.
He's
so good.
And honestly, the problem for me on the show has never been the acting.
No.
It's just more been the writing of the show. But and it has such a distinct visual style, great visual style. And Rami is amazing. But I think he can do better at this point.
Agreed. All right, what's next, Grace?
All right, so Amazon has confirmed that Cara Delevingne will be starring opposite Orlando Bloom in the 8-episode straight-to-series fantasy drama Carnival Row.
This is her dance from Suicide Squad.
It's more like this, I think. Like,
poor Cara. I don't.
A lot of eyebrows.
I mean, I haven't seen her in a whole lot of things off the runway that isn't Suicide Squad.
Well,
so I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I didn't see Valerian.
It bombed at the box office.
Here it did.
Yeah, I mean, obviously internationally, it's gonna be
I
big,
heard that a
loud
lot of people
American
enjoyed
splash.
it though. Like even though
It
the
was
box
fine.
office was kind of like not.
What'd you think of?
I actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Valerian, and I know she kind of came out of Valerian with catching a lot of flack for them not having too much chemistry, and ultimately, I think that might not be her. It might be Dane.
Yeah.
But either way, I actually thought she was really fun and kind of like sparky.
Sparky.
Just like woo, yay. So I liked her a lot, and I think that, and I'm sure you have more background on this than me, but like from what I know about this show, it's been in development for so long. It was a movie at first, and now it's a show, and it's from the mind of Guillermo del Toro. She, I think, is perfect casting because she's so quirky, and she can
Very interesting looking.
yeah, exactly. And she, when I interviewed her for Valerian, she was very like punked out. Like she is a rock star.
Okay.
And so I think in this weird carnival tattoos, she's covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, and like short hair and like total glam.
Tons of accessories.
Rocks and androgynous.
Yeah.
So I
love all
actually
of it.
love this casting for this show.
Well, the way that this show sounds, it's like a world where other people are coming and they're like fairies or monsters.
Yeah,
or
like she's a fairy coming,
sort of like Supergirl last season, right? Like there's a bar full of freaks and they're like, we're people too. And I'm like, you are, but stop blowing shit up. I like,
Sensible.
but this show kind of sounds a little like iRobot-ish, Fifth Element-ish.
I mean, there's a lot of elements. Like the plot description is like a lot of things. Like a lot of things.
It's like the
so
crock
I'll
pot
be
you
curious
leave on
to
with
see.
all the
it's like
ingredients.
there's like a big fondue, and I'm not really sure what is happening.
Agreed. But I think it's kind of like I don't like Orlando Bloom. Fine, whatever. I mean, he's very vanilla, but he is. I mean, he's like a good-looking dude that can use a sword, and he's awesome as Legolas. I know I'm gonna be like he surfed downstairs. That's I mean,
He did.
They weren't asking Legolas to be like the leader of the pack.
Right.
He sat in the background. He's like, my hair is wispy. You like
Are you
it?
saying that you don't love him as like a leading man?
I'm saying like he's fine as a leading man. I'm hoping that they finally give her a little bit more than dancing in the dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what they did in Valerian, which was very little.
Right.
I'm hoping that this series is more of like a breakout thing for her than it is like, wow, Orlando Bloom is back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think it will be. I think she'll
yeah,
have
I
a
do
lot
too.
to do.
Okay.
And hopefully, too, playing in this weird world will only accentuate her natural quirks.
Yeah, like
and,
her uniqueness.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I actually really
She's
like
like a
this.
fairy person.
Yeah, she's playing. Yeah, well, in life and in the show.
The way you described her at the press junket, I'm like, sick.
She's
Yeah.
a rock star.
Fairy.
She was really cool. I was happy to be in her presence.
There you
I was
go.
like, this chick is cool.
Yeah, she's badass.
am
I
a
really like
square.
her style.
Getting into some square stuff. Ooh, this, what's next, Grace?
Speaking of
Going
squares,
Classic Clarke Wolfe.
All right, episode 5 of USA's The Sinner aired last night. This is like the undiscovered gem of TV right now. I feel like, and Jessica Biel is slaying as this character.
She hasn't been this good since the last season
She
of
has
Seventh
not
Heaven.
been this good. Yeah, and even then, like this is great. Like I'm thrilled to see
Nothing
her
on that
doing
one?
this. But yeah, so I'm so happy that we got you into this because we were all kind of like, yeah, we'll watch it. And then we were like, but wait, we really liked
Holy
this.
moly. I thought this was
And
going
it
to be
just
totally
gets-
like my mom and her friends at Bunko being like, did you watch The Sinner? And now I'm like, holy crap, did you watch The Sinner? It's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's like every episode more shit goes down, and I'm like,
Yes.
whoa, like did not see that coming, and more butt stuff, which
More
is always a
butt stuff.
thrill.
Fun stuff, which I
Clark, you sound so
Clark
uncomfortable
didn't know what they
saying
were
butt stuff.
doing.
I didn't know what they were doing. I was
Spoiler alert. Yeah, throw it up there. Thanks, Cody.
Clark thought that Bill Pullman was getting spanked.
by a dominatrix. I didn't know.
Nope, it was total butt stuff. He was having some trouble in there, and
Oh, hey,
but that's not the highlight of the episode.
No. Well, I wanted to say that
For
because I
you.
watched everything starting last night.
Yes.
So, and I
All
Oh,
5
you
episodes.
binged?
yeah, I did.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
you know
did.
what?
That's a
brought
lot.
up a really good point. This is a good binge.
It was a great way to watch these episodes. I mean, truly. And I did something similar with Big Little Lies.
Oh,
Me too.
Like the front half, I sort of plowed through a couple of those and then like caught up as the weeks went on. But I wanted to mention that you guys know I love scary things. You guys know this. And I see a lot of stuff. And that opening scene in the center where she actually does the stabbing, I gasped and covered my mouth and sat there like this for a good minute after it was done.
It's so brutal. It's so visceral. Yeah, it was like, we're staying right with it.
She's like a Malaysian like ninja film. She's like, wah, 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 wah. You're like, oh! She just sliced that dude up.
Yes.
But you're right. You're 100%
so
correct.
I'm so impressed with this show. I'm so glad y'all told me. And
now, Clarke, give us your theory. We were talking about it before. I want to know your theory.
Okay. So, are you ready?
Classic Wolfe.
I think that Jessica Biel's character Cora has a sister named Phoebe, and I think that Cora and Phoebe are actually the same person. So, meaning that I think Cora has manifested this personality of her sister, who I do believe was born and died early on, and has manifested this personality to sort of live out her darker fantasies or encourage her darker fantasies. Now, the big thing that I'm asking the question about is Jessica Biel's scars, Cora's scars. So we learned in these past couple episodes that she does not know how to shoot up. Bill Pullman figured that out. He was like, yeah, go ahead, try. And she's like, okay, I don't know how. So where did the scars come from? Well, we know that Phoebe gets injections. So are they the same person? But Grace brought up a good point, which I also think could be true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really great theories. I mean, first of all, shitty nurse, if that's what your arms look like, heyo, file a complaint. But also, my mindset was going that this isn't that much of a psychological twist, but I love this. I was thinking that the bones that they found, that they keep saying like, oh, it's JD's girlfriend, it's JD's girlfriend. I think that they're Phoebe's bones.
Yep,
I think that Phoebe was a real person.
She killed Phoebe.
Because where is
disappeared. She killed Phoebe because the parents said like when Phoebe died. Remember, like last episode when Phoebe died, Cora disappeared. Well,
I mean that kind of helps your theory a lot.
You just don't know. And the reason that I'm not trying to like add something to it that's not there, but I think the show has really shown us that she is an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, which is so fun.
Exactly. And we know that Phoebe doesn't leave the house. And so it's kind of like, well, what goes on in her mind in this room when she goes out into the real world? She's Cora, so I don't know. But I agree, Grace. I think that if it's not like they're the same person, then I was leaning that way too, that the bones were.
Yeah, because it was the proper age and sex of what would have made sense with Phoebe.
And last episode, when he's in the drug dealer's house with the woman, the husband, there's a blonde woman in the back of the house, which I think is the girlfriend you think may be dead.
Right.
We never
so
see her
she's not
face.
missing. It's just like she hangs out.
She's
like
being kidnapped in
low-key.
the drug house.
Yeah.
She may be like used as that sex slave at the Beverly.
Yeah, that's true. We never got any kind of explanation for who that person was. That's
Correct.
okay.
And
guys, there's so many good things happening.
Another reason that points to the bones in the blanket being Phoebe is that we've seen Cora have to wrap the things up that are special to her and bury them under the ground.
Oh my God, Clarke!
What?
Oh my God,
geez.
that is so.
Splash that spoiler
That
alert.
is such a fantastic observation.
So,
I love that.
So, but
Clarke coming in hot on a saucy Tuesday.
Bringing that original wolfness.
My brain just like.
Yep.
But I don't know. I
House
don't know what
Wolf.
it's gonna be. I could be wrong.
Well, and Cora's blood is on the blanket.
Exactly.
How's
If
her
this
blood
all
on the
comes
blanket?
true, just you can be the host. Just take
Oh
over
my
the
God,
show.
I would love that. I mean, not for her to be the host, but if that's what if that's where they take it, like that's
awesome.
But that's the thing, you
I'll tell
never
what,
know what's gonna happen.
And
on
we
the
were talking
center.
before. USA is coming in with some good content. Obviously, Mr. Robot, The Sinner, that Damnation trailer looked actually pretty damn good. No pun intended.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I just crushed that. And the Unsolved with Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. That looks really cool too. So way to go, USC. All right, USC. Fight on. What's next, Grace?
All right. So then one of our other shows that we've really enjoyed so far is Mr. Mercedes had a new episode last night as well. Thursdays is True Crime Thursdays. on TV Talk for sure.
Thursday,
Saucy
true
crime,
all of it.
Crimes, drinking things.
Now, Clarke, you're lukewarm on Mr. Mercedes.
I mean, I
figure it's Stephen King. It's right in your alley.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, there are definitely things about this show that I think are interesting, and getting to hang out with my boy Henry or Harry. I can't even remember. Henry Treadway, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mr.
from Penny Dreadful,
Yes.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Right.
I missed him, and so I wish that he didn't have to play creepy
All
weirdos
of the
all
time.
the time, because
Why,
he
you got a
seems
little
like a
crush?
very fun, like, well, I've seen him like give interviews, and he seems like a funny, goofy kind of guy. So he's playing all these knuckleheads, but
All these knuckleheads.
Jeez Louise.
You're so. I mean, he was just spanking Bill Pullman. No,
You're
giant
just,
dildo in his
You're
butt.
just my
It was,
favorite human that there is.
I clearly was not prepared for what the sights you all have shown me. But no, I like Mr. Mercedes. I think it's fine. I think that it's a show that I am not like The Sinner. I want to know what happens right now.
Right.
Mr. Mercedes, I'm kind of like, meh, okay, cool, this is fine. The performances are good. Oh my God, I love the kid who plays Brendan Gleeson.
Jerome.
Yes,
He's
Jerome.
so
great.
good.
I love Jerome, and I love how they're sort of doling out the mystery a little bit, and like, I'm intrigued by the mystery. I just think that there's so much ambiguity amongst the characters. There's so much being alluded to and hinted at that I'm starting to want real answers.
Sure.
No, I get what you're saying. I think for me, it's one. I don't know if I'm more interested in how he gets caught or more interested in who catches him.
Yeah.
Like, is it the coworker? Does he have to kill the coworker? Right?
I think he's gonna kill the coworker.
Right?
I think he's gonna
I mean,
kill
definitely
You think he's
gonna
gonna
kill
kill
the
Lou?
manager somehow.
the girl.
The girl?
The
Yeah,
girl.
It's Lou, right?
Lou.
Did I make
Yeah.
that up?
There was something.
Why? I love her.
Harry Treadaway is the
Harry.
actor's name.
There was because it was in the scene where he has to refix the white supremacist laptop.
Yeah, Ryan.
And she says something about like blowing up the laptop, and I think it was like almost as though she was putting two and two together, or they were laying the groundwork for her be able to put two and two together.
That she's like smart and starting to notice that weird shit happens around Brady.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. And so like he might figure out, maybe she figures it out, and he figures out that she knows.
And I swear, if they kill Jerome, I will lose
Oh,
my
no,
mind.
yeah,
because-
How about Jerome's dog?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I love you, Jerome, but like, what the hell? I was
Right.
like, no.
Yeah.
No. Like, nope, nope.
I mean, creepy ice cream man is like, oh, hey, man. Oh, it's just the ice cream guy. Nah. I'm like, don't do that to Mr.
Don't
Mercedes.
No, and then they all started laughing, and you could see in his eyes, he's like, "Don't laugh
Yeah.
at me."
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, yeah. And like the rage is building.
So
This whole episode, I think, the only thing that I loved, I'm not too on board with Brendan Gleeson and Mary Louise Parker.
Right.
It seems a little shammed in there, no pun intended, but you know what I mean. But I really enjoyed the storyline of the brother. The brother's choking, he gets
Yes.
saved, and then
Yeah.
they push him down the stairs.
That kid playing the brother is so creepy.
So
like, okay,
creepy.
thank you, because he creeps me out.
Can you
and
imagine being the parent of like, you
No,
take your kid to
who
an
does
audition, and he's
that?
like, hey, I think my kid's the creepy kid. I'm going to put him in auditions.
Well, and
You're
then he like is pretending to choke, and then he's pretending to be dead, and I'm like, but you're like a baby. Where are your Legos? Like, this
Yes.
is gross.
I know,
I don't
I
like.
know.
It's weird. But yeah, no, this was kind of a lukewarm episode for me. I really like the series so far, but this episode was the first time I felt like we like tripped a little bit on our way to the finish line.
So, what do you think? Do you think that this Holland Taylor, meaning his neighbor,
Right,
Brendan Gleeson's
Ida.
neighbor, yeah, Ida. So, okay, is Ida gonna pay off in some way?
Got to.
She has to. She's so like.
She's gonna die.
She's such a poignant.
You
She's
think?
something's gonna happen with Brendan Gleeson. She's gonna see something. Mr. Mercedes is gonna kill her. She's gonna get killed in some sort of way. She's gonna die.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, kind of going back to Lou. I kind of felt like, is Lou gonna like join Brady?
That's interesting.
Was maybe like a twist I saw, because she's clearly somebody who's just been shit on repeatedly at this job. I'm sure in her everyday life.
Again, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Lou is a good person. Just she has a little bit of a temper, and it's more like, God, I hate that dude. I hope he falls down a flight of stairs, like joking kind of a thing. Whereas Mr.
Right.
Mercedes, like, I'm gonna push him down the stairs. You're like, dude.
So I have a question. Do you guys think definitively that Mr. Mercedes, as in Harry
Brady.
Brady, do you think that he was the one driving the car?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
still am not convinced. But
Really?
maybe
Who do
this
you
is,
think it was?
I don't know. And this is probably because I have learned don't trust anything.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
crackpot theories all over. But I think it's just because we haven't seen, we don't, like he has the footage and he clearly has the technology, but he covers his face. And I'm just wondering, if he was actually the one or if somebody else.
Another Clarke Wolfe.
Yeah, I mean, because once again, because it's like, you're right. It's like, maybe his little brother didn't die and the Voldemort baby is not her. Oh my God.
Bang, bang, boom.
But I love that. What a
Store.
great
She's
perspective.
Like, is there chocolate in here? You fucking lied. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that's interesting. Like, maybe, like, but who do you think it is?
I honestly don't know.
Like, tell me what happens, Clarke.
Well, I don't know. There's something that I was thinking about, maybe like as a for hire kind of thing. Oh. Like somebody wanted to do something, and so they, he facilitated that. But I'm just the only reason I'm not convinced is because we have never seen his face
behind the wheel.
Any exactly we've never heard him talk about. I don't know. I'm not there yet.
She's not there.
She's not there.
Well,
it's valid.
You know what? What's here?
I don't know if I'm there now. What is life?
Somebody's probably read the book, and they'll probably comment.
Listen, we don't talk about books on this show.
No spoilies.
Just friggin' TV talk. All right, what's next, Grace?
I've never read a book, I swear. All right, next we're going to our very first ever with the lovely Clarke Wolfe, Terror TV.
Terror TV.
Oh my God, look how scary.
Oh, look at that. I love that.
Chapstick. That's my Mothman prophecy. Mothman.
Chapstick?
That's what he did in that movie.
So let's talk about scary things.
Yes.
Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about, is it lore or American? Lore. Okay, so this is coming from Amazon, and it is based on the podcast of the same name, which was created by Aaron Mahnke. And Galen Hurd is one of the producers on this show. And basically, if you have listened to the podcast, you know that this show is super cool. It basically explores folklore throughout cultures and throughout history. And so the show is going to be an anthology series.
Yes.
Some of the actors that they have that have shot episodes, I think, are really cool, and they're going to tell it
Black Mirror-ish.
Yeah, it's almost like that, or like an Unsolved Mysteries, I would say, kind of thing. And so it's going to be if only Robert Stack, R.I.P. Pour one out. But essentially, the show is going to be a mix of narration, reenactments, and historical facts. And some of the episodes, you can actually go online on Deadline or any of the trades and see what some of the episodes they're pulling from the podcast are, including my favorite episode and probably a lot of your favorite episodes as well. The story of the little boy and his doll, and the doll. It's a story out of Florida, and essentially
of course,
and he was given this doll that he had with him his whole life, and he was obsessed with it, and it would talk to him and he would talk to it, and there were stories about it defying logic and moving without people moving it. No one else was in the house, and apparently the little boy kept the doll with him throughout his whole adult life. He would have to sleep.
It was a little piece of him.
Exactly. So I have high hopes for this show, and the teaser is really cute too. It's all sorts of creepy animation.
Yeah.
Amazon anthology.
So that comes out in October.
All right, what's next?
And then we have American Horror Story.
Now, people ask us all the time to talk about this on TV Talk, and I never do. I was like, I don't like horror TV. I'm not big into it. Yada, yada, yada. I'm out. But Clarke's here, so we're going to talk about it.
That's what I'm here for. Okay, American Horror Story, the season is called Cult, and it is very on the nose. Not that American Horror Story was ever subtle by any means, but this is basically diving into, there's a cult of people that I guess worship Twisty the Clown, which was John Carroll Lynch's character from Freak Show.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, if I may, this is sort of course correction, and you might be able to back me up on this. Twisty the Clown was arguably the most compelling character during Freak Show.
Oh,
and they killed him in 3 episodes.
Right.
I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, but I don't know what to tell you.
Real quick.
Clearly it wasn't very important. Yeah, flash. So I think this is the team kind of doing a little
course correction.
Course correction. Thank you. Yeah. Clowns are super popular right now. Scary clowns.
Josh's favorite.
Sons of bitches.
And so they're bringing Twisty back in, but they're also, I think, dealing with the cult of personality and politics and following a leader. I think Evan Peters' character is playing not only somebody who I believe will be a member of the alt-right, but also Charles Manson. So we know we're gonna be getting some flashbacks to some famous cult leaders as well. It's gonna.
Oh my God, I did not know that, and like I literally, my brain just exploded because I try to not read anything. I didn't know that.
You guys, you guys, American Horror Story has way too much going on. And the fact that it hasn't even started yet, and they're like, it's going to have Jim Jones, it's going to have Charles Manson, but it takes place in 2016, and Twisty the Clown, and also this thing.
And Donald Trump, and Colt, and this.
It's just like, Jiminy Cricket, this is way too much.
You're such a sweetheart. Jiminy Cricket, that's too much scary stuff.
No
and I'm
spanking.
like, fuck that guy, he's a douche.
But I don't know, I know you don't watch the show.
Of course not.
Are you excited about this season?
I mean, I don't, again, I try not to, because it is such a cultural phenomenon. I do tend to kind of like shy away from reading a lot about it, because I do like to watch it with an open mind, because it is one of those shows that's so out there. There's so many things being said about it before it ever even airs. So, I don't know a lot about this. I'm excited. I've always really liked the show. I thought season 1 was like perfect television.
I agree.
Perfect television. It's always kind of gone off on, crazy towns, which I can be on board for. But I'm excited for this. Like, I will definitely tune in. It's hard. I love horror. I love being scared. I love jump scares. And there's not a lot of that on TV. And even though this kind of tends to be a little like, all right, I don't know about that, but like I end up, even if I don't watch it that night, I always end up watching every episode of the show, which says a lot when there's this much damn television.
There you go.
True.
All right, let's move on. We're going to do Performer of the Week with Allison Keene from Collider.com. Take it away, Allison.
Hey everyone, I'm Collider.com TV editor Allison Keene here with the latest edition of TV Performer of the Week. As so many great series come to a close, it's gotten to be very hard to pick just one person as my winner. In fact, I had a hard time not choosing the entire cast of Animal Kingdom after that great finale this week. But speaking of finales, I think I have to go with Lena Headey for her portrayal of Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. As I've mentioned in the past, it's easy to pick great performances based on characters you like, but it can be challenging sometimes to remember that playing a villain so effectively is also a difficult task. Being hated but not being cartoonish or too over the top, and even finding some humanity in these roles is a really tricky thing. But Headey has been doing it since the very start of this series. Now that Cersei has some real power, she sits on the Iron Throne, she has an army of mercenaries on the way, she's allied with a powerful naval fleet, and she's not really afraid of undead things, she's become an even more complex character. She's taken power and manipulated everyone around her to hold on to it, and yet in her conversation with Tyrion, she still comes across as a fully three-dimensional character who you can almost sympathize with. Plus, she's just really good at lying and convincing everyone that she's going to send her troops to help them out north to fight the Night King. But honestly, if you've been watching this show for a long time, you know not to trust anything Cersei says. I'm still not even completely sure that she's pregnant. But in any case, Lena Headey has been exceptional as Cersei, keeping her a compelling villain as well as a character who continues to transform and surprise us. She loves her family more than anything, and so those scenes in the finale where she could have, and threatened to, kill Jaime and Tyrion were really emotional. Plus, her lack of interest in that white was low-key hilarious. But then again, she is loomed over by a giant undead warrior all the time, so it's not really news to her. So that's it. Lena Headey is my TV Performer of the Week for Game of Thrones, and that is the last Game of Thrones pick until 2019. We shall see. But I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Allison. Just love her over at Collider.com. Incredible writer. They do an amazing job over there on TV at Collider.com. We are running up against it, so we're going to skip Twitter questions today. Unfortunately, we'll be back Tuesday, 9 a.m. PST. We're going to do a little back of the day. All right, if you could pick one job in a TV hospital, what would it be? I'm easy. I'm the janitor in Scrubs. He doesn't have to be an actual doctor. He just can hang around with a mop and mess with the doctors. Sounds awesome.
See, I was going to be Perry Cox from Scrubs.
Oh,
because he's freaking hilarious. Yeah, but also like a surgeon and like cool.
Yeah.
And I can just be like ultra
it's my favorite
sassy.
hospital show. Which I love.
I think so.
Scrubs.
I think mine too.
Children's Hospital is also very funny, going up against the graphic here. Clarke?
I would probably be George Clooney's assistant.
Hey,
I'd like to be his sidekick. Or
10 cc's of Clarke Wolfe.
Yeah, or I guess his lady interest was Juliana Margulies, right?
Yes.
And she was a
she's
doctor.
hot.
No, she was a nurse.
Oh, she was a nurse.
Yes.
What?
So you want to be her?
Women can be doctors too.
They can be.
Yeah, I would be her, but a doctor.
Well, they had the one doctor that was awesome that had the crutch in ER.
Yeah.
She was incredible. All right, that's it. Collider TV Talk on a saucy Thursday. We'll be back Tuesday, again, 9 a.m. PST. Enjoy the holiday weekend if you're here in the States. If you're not here in the States, enjoy the holiday weekend anyway. Skip work, get drunk. It's awesome. Before we get out of here, where can the good people find you on the internet? Clarke Wolfe.
You can find me at Clarke Wolfe, Clarke with an E, Wolf with an E. 2 years ago this week, we lost Wes Craven. And so I am doing, on Stardust, I'm doing some reviews and reactions to some of his more underappreciated movies. So download the app and follow me at Clarke Wolfe.
There you go. Clarke Wolfe. Grace Hancock.
That's my name. You guys can find me online everywhere at Mrs. Graceface. We will see you for Sassy Tuesday next week at 9 a.m.
There you go. I'm Josh Macuga at Josh Macuga on Twitter and Instagram. The Josh Macuga Show on YouTube. See you Tuesday. As always, put down the book. Pick up the remote.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.